This is probably going to be a little bit raw tonight. I hope you can bear with me. I found out tonight that my dad had passed away within the last couple of days, and we've been estranged for the last 13 years or so. This wasn't something I wanted, and it was something that I was actually going to share with you at some point, and it's a shitty tale. It's a sad deal, and I guess he was found in his chair at home. He died alone, and he was diagnosed maybe 17 years or 16 years ago, so a few years before we had become estranged, with the bipolar disorder. And before that time, leading up to his diagnosis, he was a real easygoing person, harmless, wouldn't hurt a fly. He was an imposing figure. He was 6'4" tall, and he had a big beard and pretty wiry hair like myself, and a deep booming voice. But he was a harmless guy. He was very friendly. He had started to really change. His moods started to change. He started to go into these deep depressions and then really manic phases where he wouldn't sleep and would make crazy phone calls and go to war with people for months at a time, and then go into these deep depressions. And he used to come over to my house in the depressions, and I would be propping him up, telling him that life is worth living, and that the world is his oyster and all that kind of good stuff, trying to help him feel better. But at some point, he turned against me as the oldest of two sons. He took something about me bothered him, and he went to warring with me. And about this time of the year, 13 years ago, in the year of 2000, just before Christmas, he and I were arguing on the phone, and he just lost it, and he said he was coming to get me. And so I decided to leave the house and go stay at my girlfriend, who is now my wife, in another town. And during the night, he smashed my house up. He broke all the windows in the house and smashed all the siding and broke furniture inside the house. And I haven't spoken to him since. Of course, I had a family to protect, and I had to remove myself from the situation. I had to move away. I didn't move actually all that far away, but he had to go by my house to get to town from where he lived, and I couldn't be in that situation. The sad part, of course, is that it killed our relationship, and I haven't been able to speak to him since. And it's weird because I would quite often pass him on the road. It's weird to see your own father drive by you and just think, yeah, there goes my dad, right? That I don't talk to. And of course I miss it. He's an incredibly intelligent person. He's probably the smartest person that I'll ever know. And I don't think that's just, a child looking up to their parent. I think, he had a master's degree. He was known by everyone as being incredibly sharp. He's got a house full of books. He was a true Renaissance man. Every different kind of subject, from the completely practical to the esoteric and everything in between, all in stages, of having been read for whatever idea, project, or research thing that he had in mind. He's an incredibly sharp guy, and I've often thought, going through a lot of the things that I go through here on YouTube and different thought processes and philosophies, that I wish I had him to bounce these ideas off of, because he's the one person I know would have it in him to really delve into this stuff, and I haven't been able to do it. And I feel like he got a raw deal, He didn't ask for this disease, and it really screwed him over. I think ultimately it may be what killed him, because his health really went downhill after he started going on the different medications that they put him on. And he recently went to the doctor. His feet were swelling up, and blood apparently was pooling in his feet. And the doctor said, you know, his heart wasn't real healthy, and he'd never had problems like that before the meds. And it robbed our relationship. It took that away. My younger brother has still been able to have a relationship, which was a darn good thing, because he lives in a remote area, and he needed someone to help him with things, especially as his health started going downhill. And so my younger brother was able to go out there and help him. He never had that relationship with him for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why he took a hate on for me. And years later, I think he had sort of realized it. I talked to his brother, my uncle, tonight to tell him, you know, the news that his brother had passed on. And he said he had discussed with him over the last few years, every once in a while, whether or not he thought that he and I could reconcile. And obviously, that's something I've often wondered myself, too. Is it ever going to be safe for me to reconcile with my dad, knowing sort of the violence that took place and the potential for it? That night that he smashed my place up, he'd called my girlfriend thinking that I would go there. He was right. And he threatened to do me bodily harm. He was pretty specific about what he was going to do to me. So I couldn't obviously be in that situation. But I miss him. And I often wonder, I often wondered if it would be possible to ever reconcile, and if it would ever be safe to do that. And my uncle told me tonight that he had asked my dad if he thought it could happen, and he said that he did. And I'm just really, I'm bummed to know that that's now not ever going to happen. And I'm just sad to think that he died alone. That's shitty, you know? That's a shitty thing. And I thank you all for allowing me to share this with you. And I do want to talk. Actually, I had, some things to say about my dad and that relationship, and what I think about those kind of things as it relates to personal relationships and self-esteem. These are some of the things the directions I wanted to take my channel in, and I meant to share these things with you. So I may do so in the future and dive a little bit more into that, especially as it relates to self-esteem and dysfunction, family dysfunction, and things like that. Not mine, his. My dad had a pretty wretched childhood, and we weren't all that close when I was growing up. But when I understand the childhood that he had, I'm just so thankful that he made the great strides that he did in protecting me from the kind of childhood that he had. But in any, right now I'm really doing this more for me than anything, and I appreciate you all sharing this with me. But I really needed to get something out of me here and have some sort of a catharsis, and I appreciate the opportunity to share it, and we'll see where it goes from here. But in the meantime, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry that you had to go alone like that. Thanks everyone for watching.